When I was still young, storytelling was the most important tool to both children and grown-up people. They used to tell us stories when we were at school, in our homes, and in the communities where we used to live. They hold separate wisdom and act as entertainment to shape the minds of the children and to pass valuable life lessons to adults who can think, meditate, and learn from these stories, because they were very valuable in holding meaningful ideas and meaningful way on how to shape how we live and the way we connect with each other. Most children in this generation do not know the powers of these stories because of the change we experience today in the world that takes away and brings new things. But even though there is a decline in this form of transferring wisdom, storytelling is still an important tool in each and every sector, in every generation, towards shaping the environment where we live since the creation of this wonderful universe. I remember when I was still in a village where I was born, my home village in Buwaji Butondo, that side of Jagari Jinja district. We got an old man who was a stranger. Good enough, this old man was granted a stay at our home by my parents that almost took like 2 weeks before he embarked on his journey again. Among the reasons for this man's movement was looking for his relatives. Since those days, transportation means and communication were very, very difficult. The absence of social media platforms and the remoteness of our areas made communication and transportation very difficult, to the extent that it needed physical movement for people to move from one place to another place in search for their people whom they loved or in search for their people whom they lost. They used to walk without these mobile gadgets because communication was really a difficult thing. They used to walk because during those days, even having a bicycle was really considered that person was really a rich person, and few people afforded that. So our dear brothers and sisters, our grands used to move from one place to another. And since that communication was very difficult, people used to move in hope that where they are going, they will find their beloved people whom they have lost due to number of reasons. We used to go to this old man to chat, not to make him feel lonely, but we always went to this old man to chat together with my brothers and sisters whom we grew up with. Remember, when we were in villages, we used to grow up in circles, because I have my brothers and sisters who are of my neighborhood. So we grew up as a team, we grew up as a community. So every time we were playing together. As you know, the lifestyle of village people. So we were playing together. So we used to go to this old man to church so that he can't feel lonely. One day, I remember in my childhood, I asked this grandman a childish question in that perspective at that time, because I was still children. But I learned something from the answers of this old man. I learned something. I learned a valuable lesson from the answers of this old man who was a stranger by that time at our home. And I thank my parents that good enough they granted him a stay so that he can refresh himself, because afterwards he embarked on his journey. So that very, very lessons that I learned from this old man are the ones that I would like to teach and pass to my beloved brothers and sisters in Africa and everywhere where any African brother and sisters is, towards promoting unity, towards making this planet a wonderful place to live. It is through understanding each other, it is through knowing what to do, we are going to make this planet a wonderful place, that we are going to make something meaningful and impactful on this wonderful place where we are living. I asked this childish question, a question that I consider to be childish. Why do you move every day looking for your people, yet you are old? The old man was silent for a moment. Then after, he replied us. But before he replied me and my brothers and sisters whom we grew up with, because I grew up with a number of my brothers and sisters, and good enough I thank God that we are all in touch and we are all living. So, before he replied us, he asked us to listen to the story he was going to tell us and begged us to learn from this story so that we can learn from the story he was going to tell us, and emphasized it to learn from it so that it can help us as we are growing up to become old men and women who are responsible. This old man said, there was once an old man who was a farmer. This old man had his grandson. Every day, this grandman went with his grandson to the garden because they were farmers. So every day they went in the garden to dig. One day, this grandson asked his grandfather a question. He said, as he was growing up, he had the elements of intelligent children. So, there is a moment when we view our kids, or when we view our children, the way they grow up, when they are growing up with a sense of responsibility, when they are growing up with a sense of being intelligent as they are encountering life and its process as we go towards life. So this boy had that element. So this boy asked his grandfather, "Grandfather, I would like to ask you something that I would request to give me the answer." The grandfather to this boy was silent for a moment. Then he said, "My grandson, you are free to ask me whatever question you feel like asking." The young boy was so excited after being given a permission by his grand to ask a question. The grandson asked a question. grandfather, what is life and how does it look like? The grandfather was so surprised about his grandson, and he was silent for a moment. You know, grandmen or these grand people, they have that gift that comes with old ages. They don't easily reply quickly. They first study the mind of the person they are communicating to and choose which way to answer them. So this grandfather for this boy had that gift, according to the old man, as he was trying to explain to us. Then this old man told his grandson, tomorrow we shall not go, because they were already in the garden. So, grandson, tomorrow we are not coming to the garden. I would like you to escort me to the town. I need to get something in the town. So he told his grandson, tomorrow they will not have to go in the garden. He will help to escort him to the town of their village. So the grandfather advised his son that, grandson, we shall need some stuff as we are going in the town. So help me so that you can note down things that we shall need, or things that we need at home, so that we can get an opportunity to buy them as we go in the market. After buying and returning home, I will give you the answer about your question, what is life and how does it look like? So the boy wrote everything that he thought they needed at home. He wrote everything on the paper, and afterwards he kept the paper. When tomorrow came, together with his grandfather, they traveled to the town. When they reached in the town, according to this grand stranger, as I may call him, once they reached the town, first they went in the marketplace. When they reached in the marketplace, they bought whatever they needed, because the boy already had it on the paper. They bought whatever they needed. And the boy was so surprised about the many people that they found in the marketplace. After having a good time in the marketplace, his grandfather took this boy to the amusement parks. They had fun. They told jokes. The boy had an opportunity to associate with his fellow children. They had a very, very enjoyable moment. After having some good time at the amusement parks, his grandfather took him to the town's big hospital. He made sure that he showed him every category of people in the different sects of life. Because once you go in the hospital, there are different sections where they treat people according to their infections that they are suffering from. So his grandfather made sure that he make his boy to visit every category, every section of the hospital ward, and he explained to his grandson about the people who are in those places. After having some good time in the hospital, his grandfather took him to the town's big prison. When they reached in the town's big prison, his grandfather made sure that they visit every section of the prisoners who were arrested, and his grandfather explained to his grandson about the cases and the charges of these people who are jailed in this prison. After spending some good time visiting the prisoner, his grandfather took him to the town's biggest graveyard. They reached in the graveyard. His grandfather made sure that they visited all the tombs that were in that cemetery. He showed his grandson graves of young people. He showed his grandson graves of old men. He showed his grandson graves of people who were once feared. He showed his grandson graves of people who were once rich. He showed his grandson graves of people who were big, graves of people who are small, graves of people who had every social status. He showed his grandson every category of grave that was in the cemetery. After having good times in the cemetery, they returned home when they were very hungry and tired. But the boy was so surprised, and the boy was so excited about the great experience that he had with his grandfather. In the morning, as they were going back to their routine of going in the garden, as they were in the garden, the boy was so happy. The boy was so excited, and the boy was full of happiness. And he asked his grandfather again, "Grandfather, I'll take this opportunity to thank you for the wonderful experience. I'll take this opportunity to thank you for the moments that we had together. But here comes still, Grandfather, as you promised me that you give me my answer when we are from the town. Grandfather, what is life and how does it look like?" The grandfather was so surprised, and he whistled for the moment. "My grandson, I'm very surprised to have you in my life. But before I answer you, I would like to ask you, my beloved grandson, something." The boy was so happy and said, "Grandfather, ask me everything." And the grandfather asked his grandson, "My grandson, can you tell me everything that we did yesterday when we were in the town?" The boy, as you know the sharpness of the young kids, the boy explained his grandfather everything that happened yesterday when they went in the town. He explained everything that they did. He explained everything. He explained whatever situation they went through yesterday as they were in the town. And when the boy finished his explaining, his narrating to his grandfather, he finally said that when we finished, we returned home. His grandfather was so happy, and he clapped for his boy and said, "My grandson, I love you so much. My grandson, I want to tell you that you have explained, that is life, and that is how life looks like. My son, life is like leaving your home, going in the marketplace, you go in the marketplace, you find many people of different categories. You buy whatever you want. After you return home, my grandson, life is like a marketplace. Some people went in the marketplace and forget what they went to buy. Instead, they resorted to stealing other people's property. They resorted to abusing each other. They resorted to fighting each other. My son, some people went in the marketplace and bought what they went to buy. They made good names for themselves when they were in the marketplace. They treated people well, that those they found in the marketplace, and they become good clients. My grandson, some people went in the marketplace. They are going to leave now or the other day around. Some people are in the marketplace. Some people are being forced to return home by those people who consider themselves to be powerful, even when these people's time to leave the marketplace hasn't reached. My grandson, some people went in the marketplace and are in a hurry. Some few are patient to master themselves. My son, some people went in the marketplace and the disorganization of the marketplace overpowered them. Now they are broken into pieces. They are living in regrets. The disorganization is in the market overpowered them. They turn themselves into something that cannot be explained. They resorted to behaviors that are not associated, they resorted to behaviors that are not good in the marketplace. Some people are forced by the disorganization, they are being misunderstood. My son, some people went in the marketplace and mastered themselves. They were determined and courageous to go in the marketplace to do exactly what took them there. They mastered every step of themselves. They overcame everything. They overcame every challenges that they met in the marketplace. They are in the marketplace. They ended up helping others who can't make it the marketplace. They ended up treating those who are in the marketplace. They are being nice to people who are in the marketplace. My grandson, some people are in the marketplace. They forgot what took them there. But my son, not this. If you are doing well, or if you are not doing well in the marketplace, one day or the other, you must leave the marketplace. My grandson, no one will stay in the marketplace forever. In the marketplace, those whom you became close friends and good friends are already out of the marketplace. Some, you left them in the marketplace even though you were close and good friend to them. Some left you there. But at the end of the day, you will all return. My son, the biggest question will be, when everything is done, what have you brought from the marketplace back to home? just as like we went in the marketplace, we visited every different part of the place in which we found in the marketplace. But the most important thing, the most important question, my grandson, is what have we brought from the marketplace back home? Another important thing, my grandson, would be what footprints have you left behind in the marketplace? This should be the question to all of us, my brothers and sisters, who, if we are to make Africa a great place, if we are to make this continent a wonderful place, and if we are to make this universe, the entire universe, a wonderful place, we have to know that we are all in the marketplace. But the most important thing, we are going to leave this marketplace and we shall go back where we belong. But the most important thing is, when we are in the marketplace, what are we doing in the marketplace? What works are we emphasizing at doing, that when we are out of the marketplace, we shall present in the home where we shall be? What legacy, what footprints are we leaving behind for our brothers and sisters, for our grandkids, for our children, to know that really our parents were here and this is what they did? Do we want them to remember us for causing destruction? Do we want them to remember us for causing wars? Do you want them to remember us for causing division? Do you want them to remember us for misusing the resources that were given, they were endowed us by the Heavenly Creator for our personal benefits? The question will be, what legacy are we leaving behind? Everyone should ask a question, daily question within ourselves, that we are in the marketplace, but what products are we leaving? What products have we brought to the market? Because everyone has a responsibility to make sure that in the marketplace you take products that will benefit the people. We should avoid the habit. We should immunize ourselves. We should immunize our minds from taking destructive products in the marketplace. We should have love for everyone who is in the marketplace. I advise my brothers and sisters, it's our time to rise as Africa. Raising our time as African, we have to avoid destructive measures. We have to avoid things that we are hating one another over reasons that we can solve. True intelligence comes that after mastering that we live in different perspectives, but how can we deal with each other? Because we shall not be at the same page as far as our understanding is concerned. But the most important question is, do we consider ourselves, our brothers and sisters who have different ideas that are not in line with us? How do we treat them? Because not everyone we shall be at the same page. Not everyone we shall be at the same thinking. But the most important thing is, if we are not at the same page, if we are not at the same level of understanding, can we come together and discuss those indifferences? Can we stop the habit of abusing our leaders? Can we stop the habit of abusing our fathers? Can we stop the habit of abusing those people, our forefathers? Fine, we may disagree. I agree, we may blame others. I agree, that's fine. But it's not a good manner. It's not right to abuse someone whom you want to correct. We as a nation, we have to respect our leaders. We are now enjoying a nation that have been fought for. If those who have fought for us have done things that we do not agree with, yes, it's true, because everyone has some ways that we behave that does not align with how the system should work. But the best way to speak to these people, we have to speak to them in a nice way. We have to speak to them in a way that gives them dignity. We have to speak to them in a way that gives them respect other than abusing them. We advise our beloved leaders, you are the ones that whom we look to. You are the one who lead us. Guide us in a proper way. Guide us so that we can respect our leaders. It's fine we can advise because they are wise when our leaders do things that we do not align with the way we need things to be done. But it's not good to value them. It's not good to disrespect our leaders. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters who are in Africa and those outside Africa, if we are to change lives and impact generations, we have to know that God created us and sent us in the town. Everyone is free to do whatever you feel like doing because you have your will. But the most important question is, what will you show who sent us? What will we go with? What will we present to the heavenly creator when our time in the marketplace is over? Our time in the marketplace is limited. Today, I'm still in the marketplace, but tomorrow I might leave the marketplace. So that applies to everyone. Today you are free to do whatever you feel like doing because you still have that chance to be in the marketplace. So, my dear brothers and sisters, my advice is we can change if we are in the marketplace and still the disorganization of the marketplace has overpowered us. We can stay calm. We can remain determined. We can master our steps. Let's avoid the disorganization is in the marketplace. Because at the end of the day, we are going to go back home. So the point would be, what are we going to go back with at the home where we came from? What legacy are we going to leave behind? We as the INASA group, we request and kindly ask, in the marketplace of democratic governments, are the products we are selling to the people good? Are they promoting unity or they are promoting disunity? In the same marketplace, are the products we are selling to the people, are they promoting respect? Are they promoting values that can help the nation to develop? Or in this marketplace of democratic government, the products you are selling are benefiting few and the majority are suffering? So we request the governments of African nations to change in this marketplace of leadership. In order to make this marketplace of leadership to be efficient and effective, we have to have the resources for the nation as well. We have to consider every citizen in the nation to see that every resources they benefit these nationals directly or indirectly. So let's promote unity in leadership. Let's promote respect in leadership. Let's promote the values that can lead to the development of our nations in leadership. Still in the marketplace of religion, we ask those who are dealing in the marketplace of religion, are the products they are selling to the people good? Are the products they are selling, are they promoting unity? Are they promoting respect? Are they promoting value? Or they are promoting disunity because of our selfish interests and desires in this religious marketplace? So we argue and we request our dear brothers and sisters, our fathers who are dealing in this marketplace of religion, to value people, to make people united, to make people love each other, to make people respect each other. It is through respecting each other that this marketplace of religion shall be a good commodity for everyone. Because at the end of the day, we are going to live. But the moment we live, what are we going to present to that who sent us in this marketplace? So we advise every brother and sisters in whatever religious section that you believe in, let's promote peace, let's promote unity, let's respect each other, let's have kind heart, let's feel empathetic for each other, let's not abuse each other because they don't believe the way they believe. Let's make this marketplace, let's make this commodity a beautiful commodity so that everyone can feel happy, everyone can do things that gives them peace, because they have they are right to understand God according to the way they need to understand. We ask and request in the marketplace of medication, we request every government and every nation to consider the health section of the people. I don't know why the government has made the people to privatize in this thing of medication, because the government has the rights to make sure that its nationals are healthy, its nationals are surviving, its nationals are receiving proper treatment. Once you allow the nationals to engage in this commodity, it means that they are going to do looking for profits, not considering on how to make people's lives healthy. Instead, the government's role is to make sure that its nationals are properly functioning. Once you allow someone to set off his clinic, it means that you have given that person a responsibility to make it a business. Once something becomes a business, it means that it's going to look for profits. So our brothers and sisters, they are charging the nationals who do not have the money. But because our desire is to get good health care, so we should ask the government to engage in this marketplace of medication so that it can be able to directly, as the government, engage in this service so that it can be able to provide it to every nation in Asia and every African nation. In the marketplace of clothing, we request in the marketplace of the clothing, do the clothing that you are producing, do they promote dignity of the people, or do they promote nudity among the citizens? So the government has to be responsible to make sure that the products that they are bringing in the marketplace of clothing, they are good, they can promote people's respect, they can make people feel valued, other than bringing clothing that promote nudity, clothing that show off people's body, clothing that make people to move half naked. So what will we present when we are back home? Because we shall return home. Either we want, it will not be today, but anytime everyone who is in this marketplace will return home. But the point is, what legacy are we going to leave in the marketplace? Those dealing in the foodstuff marketplace, are the products you are bringing to the people good? Do they boost people's immunity, or they are destructive? So we request as the Inatha group, so that those our brothers and sisters who are dealing in the marketplace of foodstuff, to bring products that are good in the marketplace, to bring products that can help people, other than creating diseases that are going to affect our dear brothers and sisters. So it's everyone's responsibility, because the question is, we are going to return home, but when we return home, what legacy and what products are we going to present when we go back home. For example, we remember the President Nelson Mandela of South Africa. He was once in this marketplace, but he is no more. He left the marketplace. But his legacy, what can we learn from him? We remember President Julius Nyerere of Tanzania. He was once in the marketplace. What legacy do we learn from him? We remember Henry Ford. He was once in the marketplace. He is no more. He returned home. What legacy are we learning from him? What footprints that he left behind are we learning from? We remember our dear musicians. For example, I remember Prince Joe Paul Kafero and Hamani Basude of Uganda. They were once here in the marketplace. They are no more. But what legacy do they left with us to this generation? Can we learn from them? Can we learn from the music that they produced for us? And we can, are they destructive music? Because our brothers and sisters, they have resorted to music that you can't listen to with your kids. Even you yourself as an adult, music that you can't listen to after hearing just for 1 second. Can we learn from these people? The Luck Dubies of South Africa. Can we learn the kind of music that they produced? We do not remember them because they produced music that is vulgar. We do not remember them because they produced music that has obscene words in them. But because they composed music that is developmental, music that is lasting for generations and generations, our brothers and sisters who want to engage in this marketplace of music, can we copy from them? Can we admire them and learn from them? Other than producing something that is destroying the youth, we have to engage in things that are going to construct and shape the minds of our children, other than impacting them with information that is promoting immoral acts. We have to use these people as examples in every category, because God has blessed us in every category of life. He has sent for us people who were once in this marketplace, and they have handled those departments well that we can act as an example to us who want to follow in those lines. We have to rise up as Africa. It's our time as the youth to engage in things that can make this planet a wonderful thing. No one is going to be held accountable. It's our responsibility, wherever you are, in whatever state, in whatever nation, in whatever place, we have the responsibility. We shall be held accountable. So we have to join hands. We shall not be able to do these things individually, but through forming groups, through forming teams, we shall be able to overcome. We shall be able to make this planet a wonderful place. Joseph Kony of Uganda is still in this marketplace, but what legacy do we learn from him? Do we learn from him destructive means, destroying the people in the nations of Uganda in northern parts? Joseph Chibwetere, who burnt the people of Kanungu, what legacy are we learning from them? If we notice that someone has done something which is destructive, that is not allowed in this marketplace, we have to change. We do not have to embrace such things. We have to put an end to such action so that we can feel apathetic. We have to value people. We have to engage in things that will promote this place. We have to engage in actions that will uplift others. We have to engage in actions that will give people hope. We have to give people hope. We have to value each and everyone, because it's through valuing each and everyone is that we shall be able to join hands and be able to make something impactful and something which is very beautiful in this nation. Pablo Escobar, the international drug criminal dealer, what do we learn from him? He was once in the marketplace. He is no more in the marketplace. But what legacy did he left behind? Is it a good legacy that we can teach our kids to promote? So, we have to be careful. The most important thing that I would like our dear brothers and sisters in whatever nation and whatever place where we live, whether we are directly living in Africa or if we are living in other areas, because we are in a globalized world, people are living in whatever area they choose that they feel comfortable. But it's our responsibility to make that every area we are living in, we make it a good place to live. So, we have to learn from people who were once in this marketplace. And we have to study what products did they brought in the marketplace. We have to know that we are in the marketplace, but we shall go away from the marketplace, whether we want or we do not want. Those close friends of ours that we associate with, those people that we engage with, let's not be people who will be remembered as those who are engaged in killing innocent people. Let's not be people who would be remembered in associating actions like killing people who have borders and killing them to steal their borders from them. Let's be people who will be remembered because we created something impactful that will help generation to generation. Let's not be remembered for causing harm to families. Let's not be remembered for causing disasters, for being responsible for causing harm and danger to nations, wars to nations. I conclude by saying, by a young Jewish rabbi who is believed to have said this statement, that we are in the world but not of the world. So, we are in the marketplace. We are in this town. We are free to do whatever we want, but the most important question will be, what will you go back with when you are from the marketplace? Because whether you are doing well in the marketplace or you are not doing it well in the marketplace, we shall all leave. And the most important thing to remember, what legacy, what footprints are we going to leave behind when we are no longer in this marketplace? Because we shall leave, but other generations will come. So, we as the INASA group, we say, if you have gained something meaningful in this presentation, we say, share this to 5 people or teach something. Pick 3 statements and teach it to 5 people, and let those 5 people teach it to another 5 people. Let's spread love. Let's spread respect. Let's spread unity. Divided we fall, united we stand.